There comes a moment in life when you must decide who you're going to be. You can stay in your comfort zone, or you can step into the fire and chase your dream. The choice is yours: settle for less or fight for the life you were meant to live. This is the moment to commit, to rise, and to refuse to back down. There comes a point in every person's life when they must make a decision that will define the rest of their journey. It's not the kind of decision you make casually, in passing, or because someone else told you to. This decision comes from deep within, from that quiet but unshakable voice inside that says, "I can't keep living like this." This is the moment you decide truly and completely to commit to your dreams. It's the moment you draw a line in the sand and say to yourself that mediocrity is no longer acceptable. Most people spend years, even decades, trapped in a loop of safety, living in the same patterns, working the same routine, thinking the same thoughts. They convince themselves that what they have is good enough, because stepping out into the unknown feels risky. But good enough is not great. Good enough is not your fullest potential. Good enough is the quiet thief of the life you were meant to live. To commit fully means more than simply saying, "I want this." It's easy to say you want something. It's harder to align every part of your life with that desire. Commitment requires you to back your words with action. Consistent, focused, and intentional action. It means waking up every day and structuring your time, your habits, and your thoughts around the goal you've set for yourself. You don't wait for motivation to show up. You build discipline so strong that it carries you even when the excitement fades. When you decide to commit fully, you stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop making space for the voice in your head that says you're too tired, too broke, too inexperienced, or too late. You stop entertaining the opinions of people who don't believe in your vision. And you start surrounding yourself with people, environments, and habits that push you forward instead of pulling you back. But here's the truth: this decision will cost you. It will cost you your comfort. It will cost you late nights and early mornings. It will cost you relationships with people who don't understand your hunger. It will cost you your old identity, the version of yourself that settled, procrastinated, and accepted less than you deserved. And yet in return, it will give you something far greater, a life you can be proud of, a life that reflects your deepest values and biggest dreams. There will be moments along the way when you'll feel like quitting. You'll question whether the sacrifices are worth it. You'll look at the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and it will seem overwhelming. In those moments, you must remind yourself why you started. You must reconnect to the vision so vividly that it burns in your mind. Because when the reason is strong enough, the obstacles will never be enough to stop you. Full commitment is not about perfection, it's about persistence. You don't have to get everything right the first time. You will fail, you will fall. But when you're committed, failure becomes a lesson, not a life sentence. You adjust, you learn, you grow, and you keep moving. Each setback becomes a stepping stone because you've already decided there is no turning back. The decision to commit fully transforms you. It changes the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you see the world. It gives you an edge, a fire, a determination that can't be faked. And once you've made this choice, once you've burned the bridges to your old life, you'll find a new kind of strength within yourself, a strength that will carry you through every storm until you arrive at the place you dreamed of. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop telling yourself you'll start when things are better. That moment is now. Decide today that you're done with average, that you're done with almost, that you're done with on day. Decide that from this point forward you're all in. The moment you set your mind on a dream worth chasing, you must also prepare yourself for the reality that obstacles will come. No great journey is free of struggle. No meaningful pursuit is without resistance. The path to your goals will test you, sometimes subtly, sometimes brutally. And in those moments, it will be your reason for doing it that carries you forward. If your why is strong enough, the hardships will never be enough to break you. Challenges are not a sign you're on the wrong path. They're proof you're moving. Every step towards something greater requires you to push against the weight of what's holding you back. It could be a lack of resources, people doubting you, your own self-doubt, or unexpected life events that shake your confidence. These things don't come to stop you, they come to shape you. They refine your strength, your resilience, your creativity, and your character. When you encounter resistance, you have two choices: retreat back into comfort, or press forward with persistence. Retreat is easier in the moment, but it's expensive in the long run. Every time you back down from a challenge, you teach yourself to accept less than you're capable of. You give away pieces of your dream until there's nothing left to chase. But when you decide to push through, no matter how heavy the burden, you build an unshakable belief in yourself. You learn through experience that you can survive the storm. Persistence is not blind stubbornness. It's a deliberate, conscious choice to keep moving even when the conditions aren't ideal. It's waking up in the morning with the same goal you had yesterday, even if yesterday broke you. It's finding a way to take one more step when the path seems impossible. It's looking at a setback and asking, what is this teaching me? Instead of, why me? There will be days when your energy feels drained, when nothing seems to be working, when every part of you wants to quit. On those days you must return to your why. Why did you start? Why does this matter? Why is giving up not an option? When the reason burns deep in your soul, it becomes stronger than the excuses, stronger than the pain, stronger than the temptation to quit. The truth is, the people who succeed aren't the ones with the easiest path. They're the ones who refuse to stop walking. They take the punches, they take the losses, they endure the delays, but they keep going. They understand that persistence is not about speed, it's about direction. As long as they're moving toward their dream, they're winning, even if progress is slow. Hardships have a way of revealing your true capacity. They strip away comfort and force you to face your raw potential. You will discover strengths you didn't know you had, simply because you had no choice but to use them. And every time you get through something you thought might break you, your confidence grows. That's how persistence transforms you. Not just by getting you to your goal, but by making you into the kind of person who can hold on to it once you arrive. So when life pushes against you, don't just push back, push harder. Show yourself that no amount of resistance can stop you if your determination runs deep enough. Understand that the roadblocks are temporary, but the rewards of persistence are permanent. Every struggle becomes part of your story, and one day, you'll look back and see that the challenges you thought were breaking you were actually building you. This is the truth: the dream is possible, but only if you refuse to quit. Let your reason be the anchor that holds you steady when the winds of hardship try to pull you off course. Keep moving, keep believing, and keep showing up, because the moment you decide that nothing, not failure, not rejection, not delay, will stop you, that's the moment your victory becomes inevitable. If you are going to chase something big, something beyond the ordinary, you must make a conscious choice to reject negativity in every form it tries to take. This is not just about ignoring a few unkind comments. It's about guarding your mind like it's the most valuable possession you own, because it is. Your thoughts shape your actions shape your habits, and your habits shape your life. If you allow negativity to take root, it will grow into doubt, hesitation, and fear. And fear is the enemy of progress. Negativity will come at you from two main sources: others and yourself. From the outside, you'll hear voices telling you that you can't, you shouldn't, you won't. People will project their own fears and their own limitations and their own failures onto your vision. Sometimes it will be strangers who don't know you at all. Sometimes it will be friends or even family members who love you, but can't see the world the way you do. They may mean well, but their words will try to anchor you to a smaller life. From the inside, the battle is even harder. Your own mind will sometimes whisper that you're not ready, not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. It will replay every mistake you've made, every time you've fallen short, every time you've been embarrassed or rejected. And if you're not careful, you'll start believing those whispers until they drown out the voice that says you can succeed. Rejecting negativity means refusing to give these voices authority over your future. You can acknowledge their existence without accepting their power. You can hear the criticism without letting it become your truth. The key is to replace the negative with something stronger: faith in yourself, belief in your abilities, and clarity about your purpose. This is a daily decision. It's not something you do once and never think about again. Every single day, you must choose to feed your mind with the right words, the right images, the right energy. Read books that inspire you. Listen to people who have done what you want to do. Surround yourself with others who are striving for more, who believe in possibility, who push you to be better. Build an environment that supports your vision instead of sabotaging it. It's also about self-awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts you repeat to yourself, because repetition builds belief. If you find yourself speaking negatively about your own abilities, stop. Challenge the thought. Replace it with a declaration that moves you forward instead of holding you back. Train yourself to speak life into your dreams, even when you're still far from the finish line. Some people think rejecting negativity means pretending everything is perfect. It doesn't. It means acknowledging reality without surrendering to hopelessness. You can see the challenges ahead and still believe you have what it takes to overcome them. You can admit that you're not there, yet without telling yourself you'll never get there. The truth is, negativity will always exist. You can't control who says what about you, and you can't stop every doubtful thought from crossing your mind, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to let those words bounce off you instead of sinking in. You can choose to take only the feedback that helps you grow and discard the rest. When you reject negativity, you make room for courage. You make room for creativity, for ambition, for the kind of thinking that solves problems instead of being crushed by them. You create a mental space where belief can flourish, and belief is the foundation of every great achievement. So make the decision today and every day: no one else gets to write your story. No critic, no cynic, no doubter. Not even your own fear. You have the pen, you have the vision, and you have the power to see it through. Protect your mind, fuel your faith, and keep moving forward. Because when you silence the voices that say you can't, the voice that says you can will grow louder, and that's the one that will lead you to victory. When you choose a path that is uncommon, you must accept that not everyone will understand you. People are more comfortable with what they recognize, and your dream may look unfamiliar, even unreasonable, to them. That's why staying uncommon and focused is not just a trait, it's a necessity. If you keep chasing approval, you'll eventually abandon the very thing that makes your vision unique. Most people live within the boundaries they've been given, never questioning whether those boundaries are real. When you step outside those lines, it threatens their sense of normal. They might call you unrealistic. They might tell you you're wasting your time. They might remind you of the statistics, the odds, the countless others who tried and failed. But here's the truth: you're not building your life based on their understanding. You're building it based on your vision. Your vision is yours for a reason. It was planted in you, not them. That means it doesn't need to make sense to the crowd. It doesn't require a vote of approval from the majority. It doesn't have to fit neatly into what society says is possible. What it does require is your relentless focus, even when that focus makes you look different, even when it isolates you, even when it costs you relationships with people who can't see where you're going. Staying uncommon means you're willing to live in a way most people won't, so you can achieve what most people can't. It might mean working late while others are relaxing. It might mean studying and practicing while others are wasting time. It might mean investing your energy into something with no immediate reward, trusting that the payoff will come later. This isn't easy, and it's not supposed to be. If it were easy, everyone would do it. Focus is your shield against distraction. The world is full of noise, opinions, trends, temptations that will try to pull your attention away from what matters. If you allow yourself to be scattered in 100 directions, you'll make little progress in any of them. But when you aim all your energy at a single target, you become unstoppable. Criticism will come, and sometimes it will sting. But instead of seeing it as a reason to stop, see it as confirmation that you're doing something worth noticing. The more you stand out, the more you will be judged. That's the price of leaving the crowd. But remember, criticism is cheap. Most of the people throwing it have never dared to do what you're doing. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to prove yourself right. Let your results speak. Let your consistency speak. Let the life you build speak louder than any argument you could make. In time, some of the people who doubted you will respect you. Not because you explained your vision to them, but because you lived it. Staying uncommon and focused is also about protecting your inner circle. Surround yourself with people who push you forward, not those who pull you back. Be intentional about who gets access to your mind and your time. You can't afford to share your vision with everyone, because not everyone is capable of handling it. Some people will water it, and others will try to crush it before it blooms. Choose your company wisely. There will be moments when you feel alone on this journey. That's normal. The higher you climb, the smaller the crowd becomes. But that solitude is where you grow the most. It's where you learn to trust your own judgment, to listen to your own instincts, and to move without waiting for permission. Your dream will not belong to the people who doubted you, or the people who didn't understand you. It will belong to you, the one who had the courage to stay uncommon, the discipline to stay focused, and the persistence to see it through. Don't waste energy trying to fit into places you were meant to outgrow. Keep your eyes on the path, keep your heart on the vision, and keep moving forward, because greatness is never found in a crowd. Harnessing your inner power begins with one unshakable truth: your life is the sum of your decisions, and those decisions are shaped by your mindset. Every choice you've made has brought you to where you are right now. Every choice you make from this moment forward will decide where you end up next. That means you are not powerless. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, luck, or fate. You have the ability and the responsibility to shape your life. The first step is recognizing that the power you're looking for is already within you. Too many people believe they must wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing, or the perfect conditions before they can change. They think they need someone else's permission or validation. But the truth is, no external force is coming to save you. No one can hand you the life you want. It starts with you, right now, deciding that things will be different. Your mindset is the engine that drives your actions. If you believe you're capable, you'll take steps that lead you towards success. If you believe you're doomed to fail, you'll either never start or you'll quit at the first obstacle. This is why the thoughts you entertain are so important. They're not harmless. They're instructions to your subconscious mind, telling it what kind of life to build. Feed it defeat and it will create excuses. Feed it belief and it will create solutions. Harnessing your inner power also means taking ownership. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Life will throw challenges at you. Loss, setbacks, unfair situations. But your reaction will determine whether those moments break you or build you. The most successful people aren't the ones who had no obstacles. They're the ones who refuse to be defined by them. This requires discipline. Power without direction is wasted. You have to train yourself to act in alignment with your goals, even when you don't feel motivated. Motivation comes and goes, discipline stays. That discipline is built through small daily choices. Waking up early when you'd rather sleep, saying no to distractions when you'd rather give in, pushing forward when you'd rather quit. Each choice strengthens your inner power. Another part of harnessing your power is learning to listen to your own voice over the noise of the world. Everyone will have an opinion on what you should do, who you should be, and how you should live. But your path is unique. You cannot build your future based on someone else's blueprint. Trust yourself enough to follow your instincts, even if it means going against the crowd. There's also a responsibility that comes with this power. Once you accept that you have control, you can no longer blame others for where you are. That's uncomfortable for some people because it's easier to point fingers than to admit we've made choices that kept us stuck. But the moment you stop blaming, you start changing. You take back control from every excuse that's been holding you down. And here's the most important part. You don't have to be perfect to start, you just have to decide. The power you need will grow as you use it. Confidence comes from action, not the other way around. The more you act, the more you prove to yourself that you're capable. Every small victory builds momentum, and momentum is unstoppable once it gets going. Harnessing your inner power is about understanding that you are both the author and the main character of your story. You get to decide the plot, the pace, and the ending. Stop waiting for permission, stop waiting for the right time, stop waiting for someone to choose you. Choose yourself. Take the pen, take the wheel, and take control. Because your future is waiting for the person who realizes they've had the power all along. Acting relentlessly is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. It's the ability to keep moving forward no matter what stands in your way. Rejection, doubt, discomfort, even fear. Most people hesitate waiting for the right moment. But the truth is there is no perfect moment. Every day you wait is a day you could have been making progress. Relentless action means starting now, starting with whatever you have and refusing to stop. When you act relentlessly, you accept that rejection is part of the journey. You will hear no more times than you'd like. Some people won't believe in your vision. Others will underestimate you. And sometimes, opportunities will slip away despite your best efforts. But rejection is not a dead end, it's a redirection. Every no brings you closer to the right wheeze. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never hear no. They're the ones who don't let it stop them. Doubt is another constant companion when you're chasing something big. It comes from others who can't see what you see. But it also comes from within. Your mind will try to protect you from failure by convincing you to play small. It will whisper that you're not ready, not talented enough, not connected enough. But relentless action means you move anyway, even with the doubt. You stop waiting to feel fearless and start acting in spite of fear. Discomfort is the price of growth. If you're unwilling to be uncomfortable, you'll never reach your potential. Relentless people understand this. They put themselves in situations where they're stretched, challenged, and pushed beyond their limits. They step into rooms where they're the least experienced, take on projects that scare them, and learn skills that make them feel like beginners again. This discomfort becomes a sign that they're on the right track. Consistency is the heartbeat of relentless action. It's not about going all out for a week and then stopping. It's about showing up day after day, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's boring, even when no one is watching. The small, unglamorous actions you take consistently will stack up over time and lead to big results. It's easy to be motivated in the beginning. It's harder to stay committed when the excitement fades. Relentless people do it anyway. Momentum is your ally. When you keep moving, even with small steps, you build energy and confidence. The more you do, the more you believe you can do. But if you stop, you lose that momentum, and starting again becomes harder. That's why relentless action is about maintaining forward movement, no matter how slow it feels. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Relentlessness also means refusing to be defined by setbacks. You will make mistakes, you will fail. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every failure teaches you something that moves you closer to your goal. The only real failure is giving up. Relentless people take the lesson, adjust their approach, and get back in the fight. This mindset requires self-discipline. You won't always feel like working, but you work anyway. You won't always see results right away, but you trust the process. You keep going because you know that the act of showing up is a victory in itself, and over time, those victories compound into something powerful. In the end, acting relentlessly is about commitment. It's about deciding that nothing, not rejection, not doubt, not discomfort, will be enough to make you quit. It's about showing up for yourself every day, taking action no matter how you feel, and refusing to stop until you've built the life you envision. You don't wait for the perfect moment, you create it through relentless movement. The world doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards persistence. And if you keep going long enough, you'll find that nothing can stand in the way of a person who refuses to quit. Everything we've talked about comes down to one simple truth. Your life is in your hands. No one else will rise for you, push for you, or fight for your dream the way you can. Decide to commit fully and stop settling for less. Persist through the storms, because your why is stronger than any hardship. Reject the negativity that tries to shrink you. Stay uncommon and focused, even when no one understands your vision. Harness the power that's been inside you all along. And above all, act relentlessly, because action turns hope into reality. The world is waiting for those bold enough to claim their place, and that place could be yours. So start now, start here, and don't stop until the life you imagine becomes the life you live.